Everton will submit their appeal against the 10-point deduction imposed on them on November 17. Before the deadline this Friday, the club had 14 days from publication of the decision and will use full period. The deadline closes on December 1 and it is understood Everton's application will be submitted electronically. Everton's appeal will be heard before a completely different group of people than First Independent Commission. But Igoe understands Premier League is still appointing panelists from Commission. On-day penalty was handed down by original Independent Commission, chaired by David Phillips KC, other two members being Honourable Alan Greenwood and Nick Igoe. Everton interim chief executive Colin Chong said, "We believe sanctions were disproportionate, completely unfair." Keane and Sean Dyche turned out to be right about Everton READ Everton appeal deadline. Looms and 777 takeover decision expected in December. Set date. Blues director of football Kevin Thelwell later insisted teams' efforts would now be additional fuel to what we believe is a completely disproportionate decision, while manager Sean Dyche said, "I absolutely believe what club is putting forward. It feels like fact that it's disproportionate and unfair, and I think it's out there. There are many voices thinking same thing. In fact, it is the most severe sporting sanction in the 135-year history of English top-flight football. This is an era that begins with lac cars in UK and extends to invention airplane, television, 2 world wars, man on moon, rise internet and, course, creation Premier League. A society in which daily life has been transformed to create the modern planet we now live in. But despite all these revolutionary changes, no club at this level has been punished so harshly. Considering the penalty imposed, it appears Everton are guilty of the greatest crime sport has ever seen in this country. You will inevitably encounter a minority who put partisanship above reason, but most sensible people, including some high-profile Liverpool fans, have called out this arbitrary and harsh condemnation for what it really is. Premier League Chief Executive Richard Masters considers 10 points fair and proportionate for Everton's breach financial rules and at the same time washing hands sanction over its accounting treatment interest on the construction new stadium. But whether it is absolutely fair and proportionate can only be judged on the basis of what they have already approved. Portsmouth previously held record for most points dropped the Premier League. He managed this record in 200,910 season, taking office his 9th season. This is legal process where a third party is brought in to prevent an insolvent business from going into liquidation. But Everton received harsher penalty. How can their actions be considered worse? A Premier League club made an illegal approach to another team's player. The club in question was fined. A Premier League club fielded an ineli